So mental math and estimation is very important in the early grades. So mental math is the process of producing an answer without using computational aids, including pen or pencil and or manipulatives, especially a calculator. A computational estimation is getting a approximate answer to a numerical problem. If I want to do mental math, I might first add from the left. So for example, I could say, if I'm trying to add 76 plus 25, I could say, all right, 70 plus 20 is 90, 6 plus 5 is 11, so I have 90 plus 11, that's 101, because I would think to myself, 90 plus 10 is 100, and then I just have 1 left over from 11. You can also break up and bridge. So if I took the same problem, 76 and 25, I could say, all right, let's take 76 and first add 20, my 20 from 25 to it. So that's 96, and then I add 5 to 96. I know that 96 plus 4 is 100, and then 1 more gives me 101. Trading off is getting similar to that previous example of making tens. So 76 plus 25, I could say, all right, well, I want to take 4 to make a 10 with 76 plus 4, giving me 80. And I have to take 4 away from 25 to compensate because I used those 4 to make my 80. So 25 minus 4 is 21, and then I add the remaining 21 from 25 to 80 to get 101. And then compatible numbers are numbers whose sums are easily calculated. So I might say, okay, if I'm trying to add this string of numbers together, 130, 50, 70, 20, 50, I say, okay, well, I know 5 plus 5 gives me 100, and I know 130 plus 70 gives me 200. So now I just have to add 200 plus 100 plus 20 to get 320. Another way to make compatible numbers is to say, okay, well, instead of 76 plus 25, I know that 75 plus 25 is 100. So I can do 75 plus 25, and then I have to add the 1 more unit from 76 to get to my final answer. Now, if I want to estimate instead, what I might do is one strategy called front end with adjustment. So front end means I'm going to start with the left hand place value. So if I add the front digits 4, 5, and 2, or 400s, 500s, and 200s, that's 11. And when we think about place value, that means 11 hundredths, or 1,100. And then I can adjust for that. So I know that 22 and 31 together is a little bit more than 50, right? Because I know 20 and 30 is 50. So 22 plus 31 is, we can estimate it to be 50. And 74, we could make it 70 because I underestimated 22 plus 31. I can underestimate 70. 50 plus 70 is 120, and so my estimate might be 1100 plus 120, or 1220. Another way to estimate is to group nice numbers. So if I have 23 plus 39 plus 32 plus 64 plus 49, I know that if I add 23, 32, and 49, that's going to be about 100, because 20 plus 30 is 50, 40 is close to 50, so I can say that's getting close to 100. 64, we could think maybe that's close to 60, 39 is close to 40, 60 plus 40 is about 100. So this gives me about 200. Now, it's not going to be the exact answer, that's why we're estimating, but grouping to those nice numbers using estimates is another strategy. We can also cluster numbers. So clustering is when we have a group of numbers around a common value. So if I am summing this list of 4-digit numbers together, I can say, okay, I've got a number that's less than 5,000, more than 5,000, more than 5,000, less than 5,000, more than 5,000. All these numbers are around 5,000. So maybe I say I could estimate the average to be 1,000 or 5,000. I have 5 of those. 5 times 5,000 is 25,000. Maybe the sum is around 25,000. And then maybe a more common way to estimate numbers is to round. So I might say, okay, 7,262 is rounding down to 7,000. 3,806 is rounding down or rounding up to 4,000. 7,000 minus 4,000 is 3,000. That's probably about what our subtraction would yield. And then finally, we can use a range. So we can, if we're adding that same two set of numbers together, 7,262 plus 3,806, I could say, all right, I'm going to round them down both to 7,000 and 3,000. That's going to give me a low estimate of 10,000. And if I round both numbers up to 8,000 and 4,000, that's going to give me a high estimate of 12,000. So I know my answer is going to be somewhere between 10,000 and 12,000. That is today's lesson. So let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.